What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving into episode number 47 here today. We are coming in fresh off of the Galactic Greg's Black Hole Comic-Con event and podcast thing that we did, dude. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
It was different.
It was nice. I was actually just talking to somebody today about like other conventions and stuff and how like claustrophobic they are and like how many people there always are, and you can never look at what you want to look at, and like the Black Hole is just like super refreshing compared to those, right. You know, so like you could talk to anybody. You could talk to Jeremy like we did at the end of the podcast, you know what I mean? So like not only can you see everything that you want to see, like obviously there's not as much stuff because it's a smaller Comic-Con, but like you can go in, you can look at everything, talk to everybody, buy what you want to buy, and then, you know, you can go home or you can hang out or you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So it's just so nice having that every year around, then close to home. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's super cool.
Especially for the books that he brings out every year. He keeps one up in the year before. So yeah. Next year is going to be insane.
Yeah, like last year I feel like he had like one little spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This year he had 2. Next year he's gonna have 3. You know, it's
just let's redo the whole store, put these books back, and then put these books out.
Pretty soon it's just gonna be like a corn maze of comics. You know what I mean? You're just gonna walk through the maze. You can't check out till you find your way out.
Yeah,
it's like a mirror maze of comics.
And if you're a nerd like we are, then you're not walking out of there with nothing.
Yeah, you're not even
through that maze.
You forget that you're in a maze and you're just walking.
You're just looking through long boxes.
Yeah,
like the best convention in the world.
Oh no, another dead end. You know, it's just like, oh dang.
You're right. Oh dang. Guess I have to stop and search in the S's again.
You get out, and you're like, nah. You go back in.
There was something in there. I know there was something in there.
You get out successfully and you're like, oh, I took a wrong turn. Turn around and go back in.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You don't really have to worry about the really, really early people and the dealers on the inside of the convention that are usually allowed in hours early. Coming in and taking the books that you're looking for. It's small enough to where you can go at any point in the day and know that there's going to be quality wall books on his
for sure. Yeah, because I mean, like we said, he only has like a limited space that he sets up, so he has short boxes off to the side. So, you know, sometimes it might be a little bit better to go later because you might get a different look at everything, you know. So and yeah, like you said, we don't have vendors and dealers going and like sniping stuff early. Like we were there early obviously, but we were just setting up, hanging out, talking. Usually he has like an artist there and stuff too, so you know it's just a good time, you know what I mean? So
yeah, super cool local convention if you're ever, you know, in Indiana on the weekend of Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, go through because it is definitely worth checking out for sure.
I wanted to say thank you again just to everybody who talked to us on and off camera. You know, if you checked out the short episode last week, just interviewing people at the Comic-Con, it was a lot of fun. The girl who was dressed up as Gamora and her son was Star-Lord was super fun. You know what I mean? Awesome. That's one thing that you don't always get at like the smaller conventions is all like the cosplay and the people who get dressed up and get really into it. You know, it's, you know, everybody's into it, but you don't get like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was really cool to have just that experience, even at the small Comic-Con. We got Gamora and Star-Lord. And her mom was dressed
all
up.
Superheroes.
Yeah.
All superheroes.
Her mom was dressed up as a Star Trek person.
Yeah.
You know,
crew member.
Yeah. So it was all fun. Yeah, Jeremy was super cool, you know.
Yeah.
As always. So appreciate it. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Galactic Gregs. Thank you, everybody who came out and talked to us.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a different episode. You know, I've never done a podcast or anything on video in front of like a shop full of people, so we waited till the end of the day to try and let it empty out, but there were still quite a few people in there, and I just kept laughing
Yeah, and they had a magic event after, so
Yeah.
once like the people coming for the Comic-Con were kind of starting to filter out, then you get the magic people coming in. So it was a lot of fun, and you could tell in the edit, we were kind of getting more comfortable. We were using a new microphone and stuff for like the in-person interviews, and you can tell like the first clip we're talking like really soft, like don't want to bother anybody or anything, and then by the end of it, you can tell we're a lot more comfortable, and everybody just talking, having a good time. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. At the end, my face was still beating, talking that loud in front of everybody. I felt my heart beating through my face. I was like, oh yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but no biggie. It happens.
Yeah.
To the next time we shoot in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, I think when we were shooting our intro, the people at Galactic Regs were also shooting like Instagram stories and stuff, so like we didn't want to get too loud and stuff, but yeah, definitely loosen up throughout the day a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not you so much, but I felt a lot. Did. I had to edit it, and with the new microphone and stuff, like pretty soon, like we started off super quiet, and then at the end I had to fix my audio. My audio was the worst, but because I have like a lower voice and stuff, and being close to the mic, and it was kind of a mess, but we got it. The episode turned out really good. It was, when I first listened to everything, I was like, this is going to be some work. But we did the work. We got it in. Yeah. Good episode. It was a lot of fun.
It came out really awesome.
How many more times can I say it was a lot of fun?
I don't know.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was cool.
But I think we're actually, are we going? I think we might still be discussing that. There's going to be another convention.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we're going or not. It kind of all depends on what happens, but sounds fun.
It does sound fun. Should we?
Might as well.
Okay,
I mean, yeah, because then if somebody hears it and doesn't hear about it, then they can go,
So the very first SpawnCon is happening in Denver, Colorado, the weekend of October 28th. And our friends Tommy from World at War Comics, he's been on the podcast a couple times, and then Will Torres is going to be there.
Yes.
Doing some heat, bringing his... Dude, he is an amazing artist. We got some secret stuff in the works, but I'm not spilling that one yet.
It's like the secret sauce in Space Jam. It's just water. It's just
water.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Nothing.
It's water that I don't have for the first time ever.
We got secret stuff going on. It's actually just a piece of paper with secret stuff written on it. Wait and see that coming. Come in.
Stuff.
Clearance required.
Yeah.
Super top secret stuff. You just flip over the piece of paper. It's like, gotcha.
Right. But yeah, the first SpawnCon is happening in the weekend of October 28th. We were talking about going. I think kind of I'm at the point in my head where this is the first SpawnCon. I feel like I have to go. So in my head, I think I might just have to go anyways.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's other people out there. It's just like the week of it's the same weekend as like Halloween and stuff. It's like kind of in a weird spot because it's like far enough away to plan for it, but also not far enough away. Like might already have plans, but don't remember that. You know what I mean? It's like in a weird. It's finding out in a weird time, but definitely we're gonna discuss it. Think about going. Don't know if we're gonna make it. One of us might go.
If we
both
go,
of us
we're
might
shooting
go.
a podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
If we go, we're shooting a podcast, making content. So we'll bring you guys along with us. And if you guys are in that area,
Denver, right?
Denver, Colorado, go check out SpawnCon.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be going Thursday. I want to say Thursday through Sunday, but it's probably it might be Friday through Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like a weird distance for us. You know what I mean? It's like far enough that like I don't want to drive, but close enough where like I'm like I should just drive. You know what I mean? It's like
you could.
Me and my wife just drove to Oklahoma in one day. It was 18 hours. So
you're cutting out 3.
Yeah,
like you know, right? You can make it happen, but I think flying is definitely the way to go.
Yeah,
especially when you travel with Capital One. sponsor the podcast and get those points. But I don't know. I think I'll probably end up flying. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're driving, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That sounds like fun. So maybe I'll join you. Road trip.
For us, it's like Illinois. You gotta get through Illinois. You know what I mean? Illinois might be enough of a reason to
just fly.
You
only have to go like this far into it. We're like right on the edge of Indiana, so you only have to go like this far into it, literally.
Yeah, then you get into that too. It's like we drive like half hour to the airport, and then you're already like a 16th of the way there.
I could take another 14 hours.
Yeah.
I can do another 14 hours and just attack this drive right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's worth it for SpawnCon. I feel like, especially because this is the first one, two things is going to happen, I think. Because tickets are only $25.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
Yeah. One of two things is going to happen. Not a ton of people are going to show up because it is the first one and the word isn't crazy out there yet. Or the Spawn fam is going to come through and show up, and every single Spawn fan in America is going to come through to the very first SpawnCon, which is insane.
Yeah, it was weird because like you had told me about it yesterday. I think was it yesterday or the day before? And
it
so
was
I was
yesterday.
I was like trying to like Google it and stuff, and it was like I had to get like really specific.
Yeah,
it was like I had to get really specific to even find it. So
I don't know if it's just like search area algorithm, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're hitting advertisements and keywords in Denver, Colorado, and in that area, which makes sense.
Right.
When you're advertising.
Hey, Denver.
Yeah.
Come out.
Come out and play. But, why did I sound like Joe for a second? Did you hear that?
Joe from Family Guy?
I don't know why.
I don't know if I could even do it.
I can't. I was like about to try, and then I'm like, I'm going to embarrass myself again. For the millionth time.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. When we were messing, just bash your face on the mic. The time we were just messing around and I did a horrible freestyle rap and you just put it at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, great.
That was a good one.
I'm not a good freestyle rapper. I'm not a rapper at all, but I feel like I can do better than what was.
I feel like I've heard you do better than that. But it was the fact of it was just so off the fly and just started happening. I was like, that's got to go.
To like a funk beat.
Yeah,
it was like funk music.
Yeah. Chilling here in Collective Comics.
Yeah, I don't think we even like listened to it for more than 3 seconds before I was just like, yep, it's happening.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay.
And now it's the intro to the podcast. Go find that scavenger hunt for the listeners.
We should just make it the permanent intro for every podcast. It's like, no.
Nah.
That's the only reason I didn't make a short of it.
Oh, I don't care.
We should really think of one though.
I mean, if people want to comment about how bad I am, it's engagement. You know what I mean?
It is. Hey, what did Eazy-E say? All publicity is good publicity. It doesn't matter if they.
Yeah,
I think it does, but
I don't know how much life advice I'm taking from Eazy-E out of NWA. I feel like there's other opportunities to take life advice from.
Yeah.
Within NWA itself.
Ice Cube.
Maybe Dr. Dre. He's pretty successful.
Yeah. I like Ice Cube a little more.
Yeah. But. Well, I mean, Ice Cube's rapping is better.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we could get into a whole podcast about.
We can.
Ice
I know.
Cube
I was just thinking, like, here we go.
Because I mean, in my head, there's not even a contest, but it depends on what you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Well, like it. I mean, yeah. I mean, Dr. Dre makes some beats, but like, Ice Cube can spit it.
Well, yeah, that's what he does. You know,
I don't know. I don't even know if
Dre's
Dr. Dre's actually writing that.
You know, there's all these things going around that like, how come on every Chronic album, Dr. Dre sounds like the relevant rapper of that decade? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why does Dr. Dre sound like Snoop Dogg on the Chronic one? Oh, maybe Snoop Dogg was writing his raps. You know, stuff like that. It's like, why does he sound like more like Kendrick on the new one? Maybe Kendrick was helping him write his raps, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's just a chameleon. He can sound like anybody.
Or maybe we have the same opinion about Dr. Dre.
Or maybe no Vaseline. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the go find Ice Cube's freestyle rap if we want to talk about freestyles. But yeah, all right. Black Hole Comic Con, super fun.
Yep. SpawnCon, gonna be fun.
Denver, Colorado, check it out. Valparaiso, Indiana, check out Galactic Greg's. You were kind of telling me about something. And
is it an event?
It could be an event. It's Sonic event happening.
I think
is it happening right now?
No, I know what event you're talking about.
Is the conspiracy happening right now?
The conspiracy is happening.
Okay,
right now.
let's hear about
is happening. So what I actually heard about it on Comic Tom's podcast. No, Hot 10 list. Comic Tom's Hot 10 list video.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that it was like a video game convention, and for some reason I think they were giving away issues of Spawn, but it was like a preview issue. So it was like 9 or like the first 9 or 15 pages of one of these Spawn issues, and it was an exclusive variant for this convention. It was limited to 500 printed.
Okay.
Right? And this is happening 2019, 2020, right in that area. So what else happened there?
A little thing called COVID.
Just a little thing. Thing. A big lockdown.
An event.
Yeah.
An event.
And a major event that is currently still happening. But
yeah.
The lockdowns are not. But the lockdowns caused everybody to not be able to go to this convention.
Mm-hmm.
So the only people that ended up being there, this happened and it like got shut down that weekend. So everything got shut down that weekend. So people were kind of there, but kind of not. So there was like,
but also people were like ready for it. Like it's not like they were like 3 months out and everything got shut down. Like
no, like the hotels were probably filled with these people that got stuck in them for 3 months at a time, probably. Realistically,
right,
yeah. But all the vendors were setting up. So there's like 50 to 100 different vendors or whatever that walked into the event, and as they walked into the event that day, they got the comic book handed to them.
Okay.
The rest of them, of this exclusive comic book, because of the event, everybody was supposed to get one, but they're only limited to 500. Way more than 500 people were going to be there.
Right, yeah.
So it's going to be very, very hard to get your hands on these books. They were said to have destroyed the rest of these books that didn't get passed out at this convention.
Okay. So like burning them,
ripping them up, yeah, tearing the covers off, yeah, 100%,
shredder,
because they wanted to maintain the collectability of it, because one had sold for like 100 or 200. It was double. I forget what ratio it was, but it was double ratio. I think it was like a 1. It wasn't a ratio. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of the story confused, just because I'm also trying to remember exactly what comic it was. Because I heard about this. I'm coming off of work. I heard about this before work, so like I had a whole 8-hour day, in there. So I'm kind of like recapping right now.
Right.
But these books are selling for like $700 to $1,000.
Dang.
Yeah.
And they're free.
And they were free. They were given out at this convention.
So, speaking of recapping, so we have a Sonic event, a Sonic convention.
I think.
That was supposed to happen basically the week that the world shut down.
Yes.
From COVID.
Yes.
They were going to hand out these books, 500 printed. There were about roughly 100 people walked into the venue, estimated, because of vendors and so on. And now the books, the remaining books were destroyed. That's what people believe, right? Because
that's what we were told. I believe it was a Spawn comic, and I believe that the quote that I heard was from Image, that they were destroyed.
But I'm saying destroyed because like people think they might not have been destroyed.
Well, they've never backed it up with any proof.
Right.
There's no photographic proof. They've said they didn't take any photos of them being destroyed. They just said, "Gotta trust us."
Yeah. But now they're surfacing on like eBay and things and going for like thousands.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where we're at. And
700 to 1,000 is the cap right now.
Okay.
Which is a lot for something that's free.
For some reason, my head was like 1,000 to 7,000. I was like, dang.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So, what do you think? Were they destroyed?
I don't know. That's the whole thing that's kind of happening right now, because it's only once every year now.
Yeah.
Around the same time that this thing pops up and surfaces and sells a raw copy on eBay.
Just different. Are they different sellers every time?
I think so. I don't know. I think what I think somebody has this box, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's 400 of them out there if they weren't destroyed. Roughly. That's an estimate, obviously.
Yeah. Well, there's all 500 out there if they weren't destroyed. But the thing is
I'm saying
that people are paying this much money because they think they were destroyed, and they think that not only was this only printed to 500, but the rest of this 500 is gone, and we don't know how many there are.
Right. I'm saying if there were 100 people there could be somebody out there with 400 copies of this thing, just selling one a year. And that's the theory. That's like the conspiracy theory.
Yes. That's the theory that I'm grasping here.
I guess I'm confused. I guess not confused, but I guess like I would have just been like, the convention is canceled. Like probably would have just like given them away. You know what I mean? Like why did they even still have them to destroy them? You know what I mean? Like it was a free book that was handed out. Why didn't you just
I think something happened where they went missing.
Oh, they went missing now.
I think.
Yeah. They're still out there.
I'm remembering something that, like, at the convention, somebody couldn't find them, and then out of nowhere we heard a statement, they were destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is this an inside job? No, I don't.
It's just Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is, like, a goat.
He's like, I want a new guitar this weekend. He sells 3 copies.
Bro, have you seen what he's doing on Whatnot?
No.
Dude, he is crushing Whatnot in the first place. He just hopped on Whatnot, and he's absolutely crushing it. But you know all the stuff that, like,
link in the description if you haven't signed up for Whatnot yet. Sign it up and get free $10.
Yes, because we have a dollar stream. September 23rd.
I saw you posted that.
Major,
September 23rd.
Big books.
September 23rd. Also, comic trade night at Galactic Greg's if you're in the area.
It is the same night.
Yep.
It is the same night, so we're gonna head straight there afterwards.
Yes.
Yep.
If I'm in town.
So we got the dollar train. Every book starts at $1. Every half hour we're rating a new host, and they're gonna have new inventory for you. So we are bringing the heat to Whatnot, and that train is gonna be running all day from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm talking. So if you're Eastern or Pacific Time,
yeah,
you're gonna have to do some adjusting there. But
you can also follow. What is the Instagram? Is it just Collective Comics?
Yep.
Follow that, and he's posting the story. He's posting links. Definitely, because one of our social medias is Collective Comic.
It's TikTok.
Is it?
It's the TikTok.
It always throws me off.
It makes me mad because so there's a story behind that, but I don't know where to go now. There's a story behind that whole thing because apparently you got Collective Comics to work with something.
Yeah, I think I did.
And then it's just not there.
I think I deleted it though.
When I
thought you were like
when I went to do it, it wouldn't let me put the S.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it just didn't have enough letters or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I was trying to log into the TikTok one day, and I thought you logged in with like the email, but you didn't log in with the email, obviously, because it just made me a new account. I was like, no, I don't want another account. I don't want another TikTok. Y'all, come on, man. Yeah. No, it's TikTok.
We're
Collective
climbing.
Comic.
We're climbing. We're almost at 600 followers, so we're like 400 people away from being able to live stream. We're going to bring the heat there, too. So
Yes.
come check it out. But Todd McFarlane on Whatnot. He chops up. Kind of.
You see him destroying the comics from the Sonic convention that were destroyed already.
But you know these big convention booths, obviously that people pay a lot of money for, and they'll put their artwork on it if it's issues of whatever comic they're working on. Well, Todd did a bunch of issues of Spawn and Batman and iconic covers that he did and threw them up at his booth at San Diego Comic-Con. After San Diego, he tore the booth down, went home, and for the next coming weeks was promoting the fact that he was going on Whatnot, starting them at $1 and cutting each one of them out, and he did it nice. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just gonna chop this up. He
I totally
the issues, the pictures.
I got you. I was thinking something totally different. Okay.
And Tommy got one, dude.
Oh, really?
Tommy got one.
That's
dude.
dope.
It looks so cool, dude. And he signed it.
Let me tell you what I was thinking. I thought you were talking. What?
He's cutting up comics.
No, that would be funny though. He's like, this is how much I don't care about money.
That's honestly, I feel like he has enough to do that. But
I thought you were talking like they put up the wall and like his art was on there. Like you're talking, he got like a vinyl banner made with prints of his prints on the thing.
It was cloth, but yeah.
And he was cutting out the cloth.
Yeah.
I was thinking he like hung his art on the wall and was like selling it at the convention. And then just went home and was like, I'm selling them for $1 now. Like, thanks everybody who bought them for like however much you paid for them.
They didn't go. I was gonna get in on that show until I looked at the pre-bids.
Oh yeah, they were high. I'd imagine
they were $650 on a pre-bid.
Yeah, I'm
like, my credit card's not gonna like me, so I backed out of that one. But I really wanted to one of a kind Todd piece.
Well, if you go to SpawnCon and he shows up, you can just be like, "Hey, Todd,
it's rumored.
Let's be friends," and then you get to be friends with him, and then he does like a YouTube banner for us, and then he draws us, and then we have our own Todd McFarlane art. You know what I mean?
You want to know something? I was literally just saying that to Jeremy at Collector Greg's. I was like, that's my dream. I was like, that is my all-time goal, that if there's one place that, like, that's where I want the podcast to go, and, like, then, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't care anymore. You know, like, not that I will do that, but is Todd McFarlane coming on the podcast.
I like Todd. But there's also a lot of other artists. I like Will Torres, we were talking about earlier.
Insane.
So good.
Yeah.
You know, there's Jim Lee.
Oh my God.
If we could get some Jim Lee art, you know.
The man that's responsible probably for getting me into comics.
There you go.
Because of Batman.
So let's have a Jim Lee con.
Yes, dude. Just everybody's just like trading pictures that they took with Jim Lee of themselves with them.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah. But that would be awesome if we could get Todd McFarlane on the podcast, or just like a picture of us next to him at the booth or something, just to be like, oh, he's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Kevin Eastman was at C2E2 last year, but that line was basically wrapped around the entire convention. So
yeah, I bet, especially with Turtles coming out and everything.
I went to the convention. I didn't go to stand in line for
Kevin Eastman.
Yeah, I don't get like that though. Like, I'm not like all those like you can pay. I'm not like throwing shade on anybody who does. Like everybody's experience is their own, but like. I don't like Paul Rudd was at a C2E2 and like the line waiting just to like get an autograph and a picture for like $300 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but it's Kevin Eastman.
I know, but like I don't go to conventions to stand in line. Like that's
I mean, a lot of people do though.
I know. That's what I said. Like everybody's experience is for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like I'm also not like I don't care.
Yeah. Like if I could spend any amount of money in the world to be able to meet Stan Lee, and get an autograph from Stan Lee at his booth, I would.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
And I wasn't old enough yet to be able to do that, and my parents would definitely wouldn't spend that much money on that.
Like obviously, like we've talked about Scotty Young a million times on the podcast. Like I love Scotty Young. His art's super cool, but like I'm not going to a convention to wait in line for him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. At the same, in my head, I'm like, he's not Stanley. He's good. He's good, but he's not.
But I'd rather have a conversation with these people and just be like, "What's up?" Blah blah blah.
I think that's where the podcast kind of comes into play, and hopefully we can achieve our dreams. So smash that subscribe button and join the journey.
I also don't really get like starstruck or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like these people are all just people. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, Todd?
That one I probably would a little bit, but
I'd be like, oh, is that Todd? I don't even know people when I see them.
There's a few people that I would be like really starstruck.
Right?
Green Day, Tom McFarlane.
The crickets after Green Day were.
That's it.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I think you know who I want on the podcast? There's three people that I would love to have on the podcast. There's a million people that I would love to have on the podcast. But as of this moment right now, there's like the top 3 for me. We've talked about one of them. Kevin Smith. I think it'd be so cool to have Kevin Smith on the podcast. The one person that I feel like I might get a little starstruck by, Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill would be
crazy.
Hard.
That'd be hard not to be like, you're the Joker and the Skywalker and
and the guy from Twitter. I saw some posts he put on Twitter this week. I was like, this dude is awesome.
Yeah.
And then this moment, I'm putting Patton Oswalt up there. Patton Oswalt would be so great.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my god.
I'm drawing a blank.
I feel like you're gonna see him and be like, what the heck?
I'm drawing a blank.
He was the voice of the Crow and Sandman. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, he's been in a million things, but even
comic. Is he just the voices of these things?
No, like he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was actually multiple of him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was actually just in What We Do in the Shadows. Oh my god.
Oh!
Yeah, dude.
Oh!
Come on, man.
The fuck?
Yeah, what's your reference? I want to know your reference for Patton Oswalt.
Kings and Queens.
Kings and Queens?
With Kevin James.
King of Queens?
Yes, that's it. I don't know what the show's called. I haven't seen it in 10 years.
Right. I think there's
taken off TV.
I think there's been like 3 spin-offs of it since then. Like, is it like Kevin Can Wait or like who knows? Yeah. But I think Patton Oswalt would be so cool.
Yeah, that's my reference for him. I think he was on 2.5 Men a couple times too.
Maybe. I never really watched that show.
That show was hilarious.
But dude.
Hilarious.
Oh, he was just the voice of MODOK too, I think.
No way.
I think
was he really?
I think he's the voice of MODOK in the Hulu stop motion one. I don't know. We gotta get Patton Oswalt on the podcast and to ask him.
Get him on. Book him.
All right, your top three that you would want to be. This podcast is just taking a turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
We already know Todd McFarlane. You were just talking about that one.
Another one. I just feel like Todd is. I should have saved Todd a little bit. Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Jim Lee. And well, you took one that was Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna take that one. Obviously, I feel like I need another one.
If that's your top 3, that's your top 3.
Kevin Smith would be a banger.
Oh yeah, Kevin Smith. I feel like Kevin Smith, for my age, anyways. I don't know how you feel about it, but like Kevin Smith is weird to me because I feel like I grew up with Kevin Smith, but I also feel like he's not that much older than me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he is a little bit older than me, but I mean, he definitely is a little bit older than me. But he doesn't feel like he's that much older than me. You know what I mean? I don't know his age off the top of my head, but
Right.
he also just feels like he would just chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like that. For anybody who wants to be on the podcast, just come and hang out. It doesn't even have to be an interview.
Let's do it.
We don't have to ask questions. Like, let's just talk about our favorite things from comic books. Let's talk about our favorite things from Marvel movies, DC movies.
That's the goal.
That's what I want. That's what we look for in a podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I thought about doing and bringing to the podcast was we read a weekly issue of something, and that's the issue that we talk about.
Yeah.
Whether it's a key issue, like we bring like a key book or something like that. Because I actually don't think that you've read too many of the old.
I was actually I have some other ideas that were bouncing around in this massive head of mine, let's be honest. So I went back and I looked at the first issue that Batman was ever in. And I did not know that it was a freaking comic about the Lincoln assassination. I think it's Bruce Wayne that tells Abraham Lincoln not to go to the play, and Abraham Lincoln's wife is like, "Don't tell him what to do," and then he goes and gets shot. Like, why? That's Batman's first comic.
Batman? I don't think so.
It's not like Batman #1. It was it was Detective Comics 37 or something like that. It was like in 1939. 27? I think it's 27. Detective Comics 27 is like the first appearance of like Bruce Wayne, Batman, and I think Catwoman was in it.
No
Yeah.
way. I don't think so.
I
don't know.
I think she was gonna like rob people, and she was like meow or something like. I obviously just skimmed the issue. Like, I didn't read it in depth. There's also like 96 pages of this thing.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize comics were that long.
It's golden age, bro.
That's why I couldn't read comics back in the day.
That's why it's called
because I was
golden age.
because I was definitely alive in 1939 or whenever this came.
Right.
But
yeah, no.
Kevin Smith is actually younger than me.
And Todd.
Yeah, everybody's younger than me.
Yeah. You taught them.
I was actually no, I'm not gonna get into that. That would have been weird dark humor. Anyways, what are we supposed to be talking about in this podcast? I feel like I've hijacked the podcast and just turned it into like.
I don't know. We're off in a corner that we need to somehow wrap ourselves back
I don't think we need to.
Back in and around.
Batman's first appearance, our top 3 guests that we'd like to have. You know, we need a 4th guest. Who's your 4th guest? Because there's 4 heads on Mount Rushmore. So we need to, what's our Mount Rushmore?
Our Mount Rushmore. Well, if I ever could, which is impossible, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
I want Abraham Lincoln.
But
why did you go to the play after Bruce Wayne told you not to?
I think Tyler Kirkham would be
okay
a good one because I love his battle damages. I've been picking up his battle damage covers, in all his King in Black covers. Basically, if there's a Virgin Tyler Kirkham variant, I'm picking it up.
Right on.
At this point, so I feel like that's he's a newer one for me. I mean, he's obviously been around for a while, but for me to be picking it up and be like, I'm a fan of this artist because it was basically for the longest time it was Jim Lee and Todd that I was like, those are my 2 favorite artists, and now Scotty Young and a few others are sneaking in there.
I feel like Scotty Young would probably be like number 4 for me, just because like he's the reason I got back into comics. He's the reason I got back into all this stuff. Like if I had a style, it'd be very similar to his, and like it was basically his art that made me pick up I Hate Fairyland, you know, and started this whole journey again for me. You know what I mean? And he's just another dude. You know, he's like from a couple hours away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he probably had a very similar upbringing to what we did, or you know, Before he was doing his thing, he was just like a waiter at a diner or whatever. So, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I think that's what it. I feel like that's what it would be like. Like, it is what it is. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's just talk about how it is, what it was, and how it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it.
Another one just hit me.
What is it?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah?
Yeah. That would be sick.
Where did that come from?
Just it popped in my head because we're talking about Batman and.
Do I have something around here that?
No, well, I saw Johnny Cash over there, and I was like, that would be cool to start to get like Johnny Cash or somebody.
Yeah.
Like musicians started popping in my head, and then I was like actors, and then I was like, you know what? It would be pretty sick to get a Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Just a Batman.
Yeah. Keaton. Oh my God. That okay. Todd, you're gonna get bumped down a little bit. Keaton's gonna have to get right above there.
Right.
There's Keaton. Yeah. That's the dream.
So what did your list end up being?
Todd McFarlane, Tyler Kirkham, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember. We're so far
You
off.
just said Michael Keaton was ahead of.
Well, no, I didn't say it in order.
Oh, okay. But then you didn't even say Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, and I thought I said somebody else.
Jim Lee.
That's it.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah, I got a big list now.
Stanley.
Oh, I couldn't pick that one.
You can pick whatever you want. Who's putting these rules on you? All right.
I hold myself to a higher standard.
I don't.
Me neither. I lied.
We're just chilling.
Pretty much.
Lights, comics, chill.
Lights, comics, chill.
Lights, comics, chillax.
Alrighty, man. But next week is going to be the week of the 20th.
The week of the 20th?
20th.
What month is it?
It is September.
Jeez.
So it's going to be September 20th next week. New comic book day. That's the day. That's how I reference weeks.
Really?
I don't know if you've noticed that. Like
Wednesday?
New comic book day is the week. It's not the weekend. It's the week of the 20th because Wednesday is the day the new comics come out. So I go, I start it's like almost like Wednesdays or Mondays for me. I start my week there.
There you go.
Yeah, and never think about any other day.
I like that. I like it. Start the day on a positive. Start the week on a positive. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. We used to do a pull list.
We used to do a pull list.
We kind of stopped doing a pull list a little bit, but I want to bring a little bit of something like that back. This is going to be talking future keys.
Future keys.
And right now we only got, not that we only got one. We got quite a few keys coming out this week. Supposed to be keys coming out this week. But the one that I am most excited for is What If Dark Carnage. And this is supposed to be if, Cortland Cassidy merged with the symbiote.
I just imagine that's what it sounds like.
So, right?
I don't know if the mic picked that up or not.
It's funny because it sounded exactly like it sounded when it went over Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3.
There you go. Topher Grace?
Hey, he was Eddie Brock.
I was like, that's a weird way to say Tobey Maguire, but
you're like, what?
It's been so long since I saw that movie.
Yeah, it's a must-watch.
So, do we have any more on this? What If? I'm still waiting for this What If season 2 to come out, but I don't think it's coming out.
Right. So the thing, I don't know very very much because the only thing that I can see about this book is what if Cortland Cassidy also merged with the symbiote. Merged with the symbiote.
So there's with a symbiote?
Yeah.
It's
You're hearing it like I'm.
It's Dark Carnage though. So would it be like Eddie Brock versus this dude? We don't know, huh?
Well, Cletus Cassidy is Carnage,
but maybe not in What If.
Well,
it's What If. It could.
Cortland Cassidy is the daughter.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what if? So what if Carnage left him and went to his daughter instead?
The other thing that I was like blown in my head about, that my mind was blowing up.
That's a better way to say it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
My mind was exploding. There's going to be another symbiote.
Could be.
Another symbiote. So not only do we have the Venom symbiote, we have the Carnage symbiote. Now we're going to have what I'm assuming they're trying to call the Dark Carnage symbiote. But I'm kind of hoping that they're going to leave that and call it something else.
Yeah, I feel like we're in like a weird time with symbiotes as well. There's a lot of symbiote stuff happening. There was symbiote stuff on Free Comic Book Day. In the current Deadpool series, the Harrower, I think her name is, basically got a symbiote, like picked up part of a symbiote from the Null invasion, and then like cloned it or whatever, and like tried to stick it into Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
But then it came out of Deadpool and became a dog, and like there's so much stuff happening with symbiotes. So this really could go anywhere, especially with it being a what if issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just Carnage. Maybe Carnage is just taking over his daughter instead of him. You know what I mean? It's like,
maybe.
What if Carter became Captain America instead of Rogers? You know,
right.
Stuff like that. That's what if is. So
or what if it's Cassidy versus Cassidy? Carnage versus Carnage.
I feel like that'd be less interesting to me.
What? See, that's where I'm like, what?
Because I like selfishly want Venom. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. You
I
know,
don't know.
I think everybody wants that, but
we'll have to read and find
a
out.
bajillion
Right,
two
yeah.
times, you know.
But not with her.
Well, yeah.
Maybe she's even stronger with Carnage. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, you know what they say.
Kids are the future.
What if? Kids are the future. I'm like Carnage versus Carnage.
Right.
I'm a child.
I think that does it.
I think that about wraps it up.
We talked about a lot, actually, on this
We
episode.
did talk about it a lot.
If you're following along, Black Hole Comic Con was a fun time. We're still thinking about going to Spawn Con. We want all kinds of people on the podcast to hang out with us and just talk about comics and have a chill time.
September 23rd. Dollar Train.
And Trade Night.
And Trade Night.
And
Yeah, come to
then
the Trade Night. Trade Nights are fun.
and Dark Carnage.
Dark Carnage.
Sweet.
It sounded like I said dart.
Dark Carnage.
Dark Carnage.
Dark Carnage.
But, yeah.
All right, check the link in the description for your free $10 on Whatnot. Using our code to sign up for Whatnot, you can use that $10 anywhere on the site. W.GG. Jitterless Energy, 10% off using code Collective Comics at checkout. And until next time, this has been Collective Comics.
Bye-bye.